start my session with a question. How many guys over here and girls, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, how many of you order from quick commerce these days and how many of you go to the grocery store? Quick commerce guys, please raise your hands. Very nice. And who still prefer to go to the grocery store?
Yeah, that is a better count. Wow. Both, I agree. All right, so considering you've asked that question, I've, in the last 4 years, actually spent all my career in the quick commerce space, earlier with Swiggy Instamart and now with PhonePe. Short introduction, PhonePe is building a hyper-local quick commerce app, which is going to basically build supply not through dark stores or warehouses, but is actually going to digitize the inventory of physical stores and bring them online. The demand generation happens on PIN code in the PhonePe e-commerce space, and the delivery to the consumer is done through PIN code. All the retailer needs to do is pick and pack, and that's it, right? So this business has started in about 6 cities. We have achieved product market fit and are now expanding. Of course, we're doing it using the trust that PhonePe has built with almost more than 4 crore merchants which are onboarded on the PhonePe app. So that's the start. I actually wanted to begin by saying that I am so pleasantly surprised and quite happy about the fact that almost all sessions, all chats, or all panel discussions had some conversation going about the quick commerce in each and every category and in each and every retail space. That, to me, is insanely encouraging. Something that is built in the last 4 years is now taking mind space across industry leaders and across categories. That is insane.
Shika, thank you so much for introducing about your brand, about company, and what you are doing over there. I want to understand that as quick commerce adoption is increasing here in India, what challenges and opportunities does it pose to the offline retailers?
Sure. So let me start by saying that digital commerce in India is moving to quick commerce across all categories. The reason I say this is if you would go about analyzing the null search data of multiple quick commerce platforms, you would see that consumers are coming and searching for products across platforms. They are searching for bed sheets, air purifiers, mobiles, and that is the reason why these quick commerce platforms ended up keeping these products. The business contribution that is now coming from other categories beyond grocery is significant and is increasing every month. So there are a lot of questions still that people end up asking either on LinkedIn or otherwise. Who needs jeans to be delivered in 10 minutes? Who needs a TV to be delivered in 10 minutes? If you give the right selection at the right price to the consumer, he wants it in 10 minutes. The only reason a consumer is not buying a category on quick commerce is because you did not give him the right selection. That's it. So opportunity for a retailer here, in my opinion, is to, one, appeal to a larger consumer base. You can actually digitize your inventory and deliver to at least 3 kilometers from where your store is. That is one. Second, the selection that a retailer holds today is far more localized than any organized retail chain or any quick commerce platform which is operating at scale. It is extremely difficult to optimize assortment and inventory and localize it for a particular hyper-local geography. India, however, is extremely hyper-local in nature in the way it actually does commerce. And that is where the strength of a physical outlet remains. The last, in my opinion, is there are a lot of categories where trust matters to consumers. Let me take an example of electronics. Now, if you actually tell a consumer that your mobile is coming from this particular outlet, which is a known chain in your city, it is going to matter to him. It is going to build trust in the consumer for him to be able to place that order. And that is the strength that they have. The challenge, briefly put, is that these physical retailers have to turn omni. And that, in the last 1 year, actually, that is exactly what PinCode was working on. There are two problems. One, to get them to adapt technology. And number two, the discipline that is required to adhere to basic SOPs. These, in my opinion, are the challenges and opportunities.
But the retailers are still wary of commissions and high platform fees. So how do you tackle those challenges?
Okay, great question. Okay, so let me put it down in this way. For a retailer, the biggest fixed cost is rent. Now, the only way that he makes more profit today is by making more revenue. Revenue increases if you today get more footfalls in the store. That across categories, especially in grocery, has only had a downward trend in the last 1 year. It has become difficult to get consumers to come to the store. The consumers are actually asking the retailers that you also have to come to me. And that is where a retailer needs to react. Let's take an example to explain this. Suppose I'm an outlet and I'm doing 300 orders a day. PinCode as a platform comes and brings additional 300 orders per day through digital platforms. That 300 orders will come at a slightly lesser percentage margin, but in absolute, the retailer ends up making more profits. And in the end, that is what is required. So he will make, in absolute, far more profit by giving away certain percentage of the margins that he makes today. Demand generation, the technology to be deployed is actually on PinCode. In fact, the delivery cost to the consumer is also on PinCode. Net, this only makes sense even for a platform like ours, which is dependent on building supply through suppliers, through retailers, only if these margins make sense to them. They will also work with us only if we end up helping them make more absolute profits. Percentage margin will look slightly lower than what it used to look earlier, for sure.
The truth is out. So Ashika, my last question to you. I want to understand supply chain is also a big issue for such retailers. So are you also helping them in simplifying their supply chain, help them improve their procurements, etc., etc.?
So one of the biggest strengths for a quick commerce platform today is that they have full control on their supply chain. All the dark stores today are replenished every day. For a physical outlet, 100%, there are insane efficiencies in the supply chain, starting from the brand itself. So yes, point number one, PinCode is actually going to facilitate between the brand and the outlet to improve physical inventory. The first thing that we would enable is get the brand the visibility of what the physical store carries in his store. It is from that that we will start doing inventory management for the store. We will help build demand planning modules for him to tell him what is the best way to maintain inventory in his store. The second thing that we are also working with them on is they are being told what is the assortment gap today based on what is selling in his area or what is selling on digital platforms otherwise. The last thing is there is also a lot of inventory that is not selling in his store today. That is also being told to him. that you should get away or liquidate some of this inventory. So yes, there is a lot that we are working with today already with the physical retailers to build intelligence around what he carries.
In the end, I can say offline retailers who are planning to go online as well, pin code can be a solution. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Charu.
Shikha.
Thank you.